Howdy Heroes Hearth, this is Kyle Fergusson. Today I'm sitting down with Breakwood in the CCL Open Division teams. This is going to be a scrim from Forgot to Warm Up versus Salt and Pepper here. Breakwood on Sylvanas. How you doing? Thanks for joining me.
Hi, I'm doing good. Thanks for the invite.
Absolutely.
How are you?
Doing well, doing well. Excited to see some Sylvanas. You mentioned to me earlier that this is an early pick Sylvanas because she just kind of plugs into a lot of different team types.
Yeah, exactly. Sylvanas has more than one build, and she can play front to back or dive, depending on what you want to do. So she can respond to a lot of team comp on the enemy team too. So that's why we pick up Sylvanas pretty early.
And anything about Alterac Pass here that you like with Sylvanas?
Yeah, Alterac Pass is really a big macro game. The objectives are taken pretty late in I division. So it's nice to have a push potential. So that's why we have also Falstad and Brightwing that are two globals, and we have Ogre to do the camps fast. So what we're doing is just to take control of the map slowly.
Okay.
But surely.
Anything with the Tyrael here? Is that a Deathwing thing for like Holy Ground?
Tyrael is good for the boss control, and there's a lot of boss fight on this map.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's pretty good to just stay on the point and control. We didn't really need any more CC than what we had, because that was not the goal. So it was more an answer to their comp.
I get you, because you're going to be doing more of the macro sort of thing with the double globals, not too worried about direct team fights.
Yeah, exactly.
You mentioned a number of builds are available till Sylvanas, or for Sylvanas here, and you picked up Might of the Banshee Queen. So why this talent versus this team?
Might of Banshee Queen is probably my to-go talent for the level 1, except if we have like a big frontline like a Diablo, that I will take the trait and percentage damage. So yeah, it's just more damage, attack speed, and spell power. Sylvanas is pretty much an hybrid between the spell and the auto attack. So if we want to, whatever we want to do with her, the Q is really good in any situation. So yeah, that's why.
I find this is my favorite talent, probably because I'm awful at standing still and getting auto attacks. Do you prioritize auto attacks while still doing this talent? When you say it's your favorite, is it because you're allowed to run around more and auto attack less?
No, it's good for auto attack too, because you have the attack speed and you have the spell power. It's like an hybrid for me.
Oh. I never noticed it actually had attack speed. I always got excited about the spell power. Okay.
There's a good attack speed for that, so it's good for both build.
Yeah.
In fact, so that's why it's probably the most common talent, and trait will be used situationally.
What about Unfurling Shadows?
It was a must before it got nerfed. It's still fun. I will still get it like in Brawl.
Okay, you'll be sure where you can stack it.
Yeah, but I think it's more like a late talent, and with Sylv, you want to take control of the map pretty early, so the game won't be that much longer. So you don't want Sylvanas to be too late in the game. So
that makes perfect sense.
I prefer to use one or the other too.
Down here we can see a little counter where you reach that level 1 25% attack speed and spell power. Is there anything you do in particular, like wait for a certain number of stacks to cast spells, or only use your ult when at 5 stacks?
Not really.
Okay.
No, I like this time I took the wave also at Festering Wounds at 7, because it's automatically go with 3 stacks. And this will be good with the 13 I will take too. Well, I will talk maybe about it later. But the stacks are already easy to put with the wave. I just need to position myself more safely with that talent because I use the wave more aggressively and don't have really the escape.
That makes perfect sense. You've been using here Possession, a favorite, and certainly the highest pick rate talent. Is there any strategy as to which minions you possess?
If there's no cannibals, I will prioritize the front, the melees
Okay.
that are a little more tankier than the other ones.
Yeah.
Just to be more I don't know. There were none of the melee, so I just take the range because they hit a little more.
Yeah.
It depends on what I wanted to do, but I wanted to clear that more quickly, so the range were more efficient to do that.
So there's a little bit of decision process, but mostly you want to build a big front line so you have push power then.
Yeah, that's mostly what I do on that game. We were really see me in the team fights. I just go top, mid, and try to make them rotate. Now there's just a call because they're on bus, so I will just go fight that because it's important.
Yeah, there's a big 10 fight coming in. We have.
But all the early game, I was just being between top and mid. So we took the fountain and the wall top and the wall mid already. So it's just easier to push after that with objective.
Wow, you really got to be all alone there. They really ignored you on the side.
Yeah, they did.
Completely knocked out Tychus there nearly, making him back up and then getting the haunting wave in and just deal massive damage. So there is a part of the trait here. So Banshee's Curse. Basic attacks infect enemies with Banshee's Curse for 3 seconds stacked to 3 times. Deal 25% more damage to enemies. So right now, without your level 13, Haunting Wave aggression is basically just to jump up to dealing more damage, 25% more damage.
Yeah, exactly. So I will position myself a little more on the flank with it and try to be more like a surprise like I did. And since they're more used to see me in lanes, it allows me to surprise them too. And I just took my wave and went near my tank and healer. But the wave just put all the stacks there.
And then you grabbed up Mind Control, which also takes people to 3 stacks. So we got 3 stacks for 25% bonus damage, plus your level 1 talent is a 25% bonus damage. Spell power, or at least, and then attack speed 25%. So that actually stacks up to be quite something.
Yeah, exactly. Sylvanas is pretty powerful for that.
Yeah, pretty good on the damage too. So it looks like you're making quite a few reserved choices about black arrows here. You're not using it where the majority of quick match players use it every time you get to a building. So here...
No, I tried to use it on the keep or the fort because the tower of the wall doesn't focus the attacker.
Yeah.
Like if my teammates attack someone, they don't change their focus, so it's not. You don't have to use it on that, but the keep and fort will do that. So it's more useful to use it then, so your team can dive more.
That makes perfect sense. So we have no concern because there's no aggro from towers. Save it for the forts and the keeps, and you'll actually have a way better push. That makes perfect sense. So we've gotten that 13 talent that you were alluding to. Increase Sylvanas' basic attack range by 1. Sylvanas' basic attacks against enemies with 3 stacks of Banshee's Curse shoot an untalented shot of Withering Fire.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. So you knock them up to 3 stacks very quickly. You have 25% increased attack speed. There's no hidden cooldown on this that it mentions, so you're just firing free Withering Fires all the time.
Yeah, exactly. That's pretty much where the big damage will come to.
And while it's
and the
not,
range, yeah.
Yeah, and while it's not talented, it would still get the benefit of your bonus spell power that you have from year 1.
Yeah.
I didn't know that Remorseless was useful outside of like a overwhelming affliction build. That's really cool.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, that's why it's pretty much a must pick, except if you are really a divey team and you want the double wave. I will mostly go that talent, just because of the burst that it gave us.
The double wave being Windrunner, so you get a teleport after you teleport, plus it resets the Withering Fire, so I see why that became the go-to when people said, oh, Might of the Banshee Queen, I want more Withering Fires, let me always go Windrunner, but here you've shown that Remorseless really has some serious stack with it.
Yeah, exactly.
At 16, you grabbed up Will of the Forsaken. Is this an auto pick? I don't feel like you're being pressured by CC.
Yeah, I like to pick it anyhow because it allows to be a 40% movement speed for 3 seconds too. So I like to use this sometimes to more aggressively, even though there's no CC. There's no always CC in the other team. I will probably use it, I think, on this match too, to demonstrate that, but the attack speed is pretty fun when you don't have the double wave. You can just chase with the wave and you're unstoppable.
Yeah, so not even to dodge any CC or anything like that, just for pursue.
I'm gonna do it.
Look at that. That's
so
cool.
Yeah, it's to secure the kills more than survivability, because I didn't really need the heal either. And the other talent, I don't even remember what it is.
Evasive fire, but that would give movement speed up to 30%, so you've got a button that takes you to 40%, why bother?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, alright, so that's... So my question, though, would be life drain. Do you pick it in solo queue when you don't trust your healers, maybe?
Maybe if I really feel I don't have a lot of either, but it depends, because I would say that in solo queue, there's a lot of CC usually. So I will mostly go unstoppable, except if there were really no CC and I really felt like the healer isn't good enough for me, but it's really rare. I don't think I do it really.
That's cool.
It did happen maybe 1 or 2 times, but it's rare.
That's great. I love that that's used just for the movement speed. That's really cool. So here, you're 3 levels up. You got them pushed in, the objectives going. Is there anything you're scared of looking at the enemy team?
Right now we're just doing the safe play to wait for objective, to have the boost, and to just don't throw the game.
Sure.
Because we see a lot of core at 1-2%, and we just want to be sure to be all alive and finish the game, and not taking any risk. That's why we just waited for it, and we didn't go for the fight because we didn't have 20 anyway, so we didn't have that much advantage, and we had a lot to lose, and they didn't. So they wanted that fight, and we didn't really want it before objective.
Makes perfect sense. You did end up getting 20 at the very end here, and we didn't spend much time talking about it, but mainly because it just didn't come up much this game. Mind control. Deathwing on the enemy side would have been immune to the silence. Mind control, is this something that you normally use on the tank in the first place, and that's why we didn't see it used much?
I used it a little bit, but since it was more macro game, I didn't have to a lot. So the silence didn't really bring me anything to that team. I didn't want to silence anyone. They didn't add any burst or big CC chain that I had to prevent. So I just went for the picks, the easy picks with the mind control, to have an opportunity to use it, and the cooldown is really low also of the mind control.
Yeah, and certainly we saw in that bottom boss fight there versus Tychus that it was a really good way to get up to those 3 stacks, regardless of if you took him out of the fight for a time, which you did. But that was almost the byproduct of the
Yeah.
mind control.
Exactly.
So if you had picked a 20, which one would you have gone?
I would have went with the upgrade of the mind control.
Okay.
Because of the cooldown reduction by 25 seconds, I think.
Sure, it takes it to 15 seconds. Yeah.
Yeah, and it does reduce their vision too, so you can just throw a lot of mind control without really thinking about it. If you will miss it or not, it's not really a big of a deal because you have it right away. So you can take more risk with it. And I didn't need Bolt of the Storm. I felt pretty safe that game, so I will have been for mind control, Dark Lady's Call. If I felt more like I needed more mobility, I would have go Bolt of the Storm. It's the 2 talents that I mostly go.
Any Withering Barrage?
Not really, not for me. I don't feel like I need it, and I mean, I have enough Banshees. I have enough Banshees curse already.
Yeah.
And I have a free queue too with Remorseless from time to time, so I didn't feel like it was adding anything to my build.
No, that's a great point. The Withering Barrage basically would just sit on top of if you had skipped Festering Wound, which was kind of a part of your whole damage build here, so why get people up to Banshee's Curse when they're already at 3 stacks?
Exactly.
That's perfect. So you did end up getting top damage in this game. Any tips for Sylvanas who are just starting out? Someone saw this video, they're like, oh wow, Sylvanas looks great. I'd like to play this play style.
For this playstyle, it was really a front to back. So you need to be careful with your level 7 because you use your wave aggressively, and a lot of beginner with Sylvanas will forget that they have to be secure to use it instead of using it for the escape. So you need to play a little more like Vala or something like that when you are doing that build.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, except if you want to go double wave. Now you can be aggressive and just go back to your main position. But I think you need to get comfortable on one build first before exploring the other ones.
Awesome. Great rundown on Sylvanas. Very cool game. Good luck to you in the CCL Open and all the various matches you have coming up there. Everyone,
thank you.
Here at YouTube, be sure to like, subscribe, ring that bell for more Heroes of the Storm action. Learn to play as well as that upcoming CCL Season 3.